What is up, guys? Emmanuel Jones here, back at it with another NFL record prediction. And this time we'll be doing our Week 13 predictions for the NFL season. Last week I went like 8-7, which I did really kind of good last week. And the teams who on bye week are the Browns, Packers, Patriots, and Titans. So yeah. So yeah. So we might get started here in a few minutes. So I chose the Cowboys to win 30-20, and they won 27-17. So yeah. So before I get started, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment down your opinion below to see who's gonna win Week 13. So we're ready to get things started. First off, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. Tampa Bay is minus 11 points. Now, I look at this game right here, and now here's the thing. Now I kind of feel like that the Bucks, I feel like that the Falcons defense played really well last week. I like what they did to Jacksonville last week. And when I look at the Bucks on paper, the Bucks beat the Colts last week because we seen that their defense was able to take away Michael Pittman in the end zone, and that caused them to win the game, which that was really good, which that game was a big game, and that was a high-scoring game. But you know what? I think the Bucks can do the same thing to the Falcons because I think their secondary is pretty much underrated, and I feel like they can get in coverage this game. And also, the Falcons secondary, it's like the Falcons defense is like totally dreadful. So I think that can allow the Bucks offense. That can allow the Bucks playmakers on offense give the Falcons defense a lot of problems. So we expect Tom Brady and this Bucks offense to have a big game, and we can really expect this. We can really expect this defense to have a big game as well. So yeah. So you know what? I mean, I can barely see the Falcons. I could barely pick the bet on the Falcons to pull off an upset because their playoff hopes. They're still alive and they still have a chance. But I don't really think Atlanta's going anywhere due to the fact that, hey, I just don't think Atlanta's a good team. Like, they're just bad. They're just. They're just not ready for playoff contention yet. So yeah. So by the way, I'm picking Tampa Bay to win this game, 35-20. I just kind of feel like Tampa Bay is just a better team. They have a better quarterback, better coach, and I believe they got more to play for this game. So yeah, no question to that. So I taking the Bucks to win, and I'm easily taking the Bucks to cover. All right, next game we have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Chicago Bears. Cardinals are favored by 8 at -8. Now I'm going to keep this one short too. Now when I look at this matchup though, this matchup can barely go either way though because it could be both franchise quarterbacks playing against each other. Now, if this was Kyler Murray versus Justin Fields, then I think this game is probably going to be much closer. But I wouldn't be shocked if this game was close because Justin Fields, he's like one of these quarterbacks who can make plays and scramble and escape pressure and all that. So yeah. But Justin Fields, he has not been looking great, but you know what? He did not play in the game last week versus the Lions and had Andy Dalton starting. Andy Dalton led the Bears to the win. Their defense played really well and their offense was playing really well that game. But now the thing is that this is kind of a bad matchup for the Cardinals because the Cardinals the Bears secondary is not that good, and plus I believe the Cardinals are going to get Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins back because DeAndre Hopkins, he's probably going to be the biggest factor to this game. So whenever you see him, I mean, just give the ball to Hopkins. I mean, he's the biggest factor in this game. So, yeah. So I believe that the receivers, of the Cardinals are going to have a big day. And I think their running game is not great, but I think it's really good. So, yeah. And plus, the Cardinals defense, it's been playing the best, like, for real. Because I think the Cardinals defense, the Bears offensive line, it's very inconsistent. And also the Cardinals have a really great defensive line that can really give Andy Dalton a lot of problems. So I believe Andy Dalton's going to start this game. So, yeah. So I remember when Andy Dalton was on the Cowboys and played against the Cardinals, he played really bad that game. So, yeah. So I just really think that the Cardinals offense and defense has a big game. Yeah. And plus the Cardinals are coming off a bye, so they have more time to prepare and all that. So, yeah. But I really want to go with the Bears, but I know it's in Chicago though, but I'm not going to pick the Bears because they totally stink and they're not going anywhere. So I'm going with the Cardinals to win this game. I got the Cardinals win this game 38-13, and the reason why is that the Cardinals have a better quarterback. They got the better coach for right now. Matt Nagy, he's been a disaster anyway, but I heard that a lot of people are saying that Matt Nagy's going to get fired after the game in Detroit, but he didn't, but that kind of saved his job after a win. So, yeah, Matt Nagy, he's just not that great of a coach. His play calling is very predictable. So, yeah. So, I go with the team with the better quarterback, the better coach, and also the team who is more talented. So, yeah. So, I got the Cardinals to win this game, and definitely I got the Cardinals to cover. Next game, we have the LA Chargers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincy's favored by 3. Now, I feel like this can be a very exciting game for both teams. Now when you look at both of these teams, it's very similar because both these two teams because both quarterbacks with Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow are ready to start franchise. Like, it's kind of tough to see who's going to start your franchise. Like, here's the thing. Now, they both got drafted in the same year. And plus, they have, both quarterbacks are really good with good arms. So, yeah, but you know what? It can barely go either way, though, because, the Bengals offense is very dynamic and very explosive. We seen what this Bengals offense did last week versus Steelers. They were able to create play action. They were able to get open down the field, and they wasn't getting double teamed. And plus, their defense really played really well. They was forcing some turnovers. They were really found a way to stop the run and all that. But they can really do that in this game though, because the Bengals defense seemed like it's pretty much underrated because I kind of feel like what this Bengals defense did. When I look at the Bengals defense, we like what the Bengals defense did. It's pretty much underrated. Trey Hendrickson, he's been getting a lot of sacks like every game. Like, he could be the most underrated player on the team. Sam Hummer is good, but plus their secondary is not that bad because Mike Hilton, he's a solid corner. And Jesse Bates, one of the best safeties on the team. So, yeah. But the Bengals really got great aspects to their defense, but I don't really think their defense is great enough. Like, the Bengals can't really match up well with anybody, but they proved me wrong that they did. And plus, their offensive line is not as great. And plus, Joe Mixon is like a game changer. So, yeah. But on the other side, on the Chargers, I mean, the Chargers defense, I mean, it's pretty much overrated because here's the thing. They don't stop the run. They don't blitz. I mean, that's the issue for the Chargers, like their defense. Like they can't really stop the run that well. But I don't really know about their pass defense though, but their pass defense has been a little bit inconsistent because we seen that game versus the Broncos where Justin Herbert really struggled and the defense really struggled to stop the run and they struggled to stop the pass and all that. So yeah, they wasn't really playing well. But and plus the Chargers secondary is really good though. And plus, they got two cornerbacks. I mean, they only got like three cornerbacks. You got Asante Samuel, Michael Davis, and Chris Harris Jr. So I think one of those corners can really cover the receivers of the Bengals. So yeah, but the Bengals running game with the Chargers being very atrocious at stopping the run, I think that can allow Joe Mixon to find some open lanes and run for like over 100 yards. But when I look at the Chargers offense is pretty good, but it's just about average. I mean, Mike Williams seemed like he's really not the best receiver. I mean, he's really one of the best slot receivers in the game, but he seems like he's not really good at getting creating lanes. But Keenan Allen, I mean, he's very good though. Like he's one of the best receivers in the game that can really break out. But he might get at least like 7 or 8 catches. I don't really know. Mike Williams can too, but if I'm scared, I mean, could I be really scared of Keenan Allen? And could I be really scared of Jamar Chase? No, I mean, especially if I'm sleeping. I mean, nah, but when you look at the Chargers receivers they have, I mean, Jared Cook has not been the same player. So, yeah. And plus, Austin Eckler is like one of the best running backs in the game, which that can allow him to find some open lanes against his Bengals defense. But what the Bengals defense do, they don't really let people run them over and all that. Sometimes they do, but I think the Chargers with Austin Eckler, I think he's gonna break out a little bit this game and find some open lanes and run for 100 yards. So that can allow this Chargers offensive line to have time. So yeah, I mean on the other side, if Joe Burrow can have time, he can really eat this Chargers defense up. But if Justin Herbert has time, he can eat this Bengals defense up. That's what it says to me. But I think what the coaching is, I think it only comes to the Chargers head coach with Brandon Stanley. I think what he can do, his scheme is really good on defense, which I really think that he can really allow Joe Burrow to at least make the short passes and all that, and probably not let them force him to make long passes in this game. And maybe they can at least dare Cincy to run the ball, and probably dare them to pass the, and probably he can allow the Chargers defense to get in coverage this game. But I think what the Bengals do, if they were able to at least control the game and control the ball and control the clock in this game and keep Herbert off the field, then they'll win. But this is how it goes with the same thing with the Chargers. Now, if the Chargers were able to control the clock in time possession, like control the ball and keep Joe Burrow off the field, then they'll find a way to win this game. But this game will be very exciting, but I think this game right here is going to be very close. But this could be a really best bet, but since it's only 3 points, but I don't know. But I really want to go with Cincy here because I kind of feel like they're trying to be making a push for a playoff team, but I don't know if the Bengals are going to be ready yet. But the Chargers seem like they're a little bit overrated, but not much. But you know what? I know it's in Cincy, but I'm probably going to go with the Chargers here because I just really feel like the Chargers, I just kind of feel like they're the better team. And plus they have the better coach. So, yeah. So, I'm going to pick the Chargers to win the game, but in terms of points, I will take the 3 though because I think this game right here can be a high-scoring game though. Like, it could be a shootout, but you know what? I think this game right here can be barely super close. Like, I can see this game being like the high 30s and maybe even the high 40s. But if this game was sloppy, would I be shocked? No, but I just think that the Bengals are going to cover the points, but I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game. And hopefully that'll be Justin Herbert has a good game with a big bounce back. All right, next game we have the Minnesota Vikings versus Detroit Lions. Vikings are favored by -7. Now, I'm going to keep this one short though. Now when I look at this game from last time, the Lions almost won. Now, here's the thing. The reason why they almost won is because they were playing with heart and all that. But, the Vikings offense, I mean, they were making some really big plays down the field until when it got towards the end of the game, they made a field goal and won by it. But you know what? The Lions probably stink, and, they're probably not going to be in the playoffs this year. I mean, the Vikings, they got their playoffs hopes alive, and I think they do have a chance to make it because, their offense is like really good, and plus their defense is pretty much really good. Like, they're really playing well on both sides of the ball. So, yeah. So, you know what? I have no faith in the Lions because, they're starting to lose a lot. I mean, we seen that they lost to the Bears by a field goal. They wasn't able to stop the Bears offense by them, but that's again the Lions could have won. But yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna go with the Vikings here because I just kind of feel like the Vikings are just the better team. They have the better quarterback, and plus, I just think they have the better coach. I feel like Mike Zimmer is coaching really good, and Dan Campbell, and it seems like he could be the worst head coach in football. I mean, with him getting blown leagues and losing every week, yeah. So I think this game will be a little bit closer, but I'm going to take the Vikings to win, but I might take the points, though, with the Lions because I think Jared Goff, he might play well this game. So, and he might have a little time. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the 7 points with the Lions, but I'll take the Vikings to win the game. Next game, we have the New York Giants versus Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 3.5. I'm going to keep this one short, though. Now, when I look at this matchup, though, this could be an either-way type game because both of them have young quarterbacks playing together with Danny Dimes and Tua. Now, both of their offenses are really good. Now, the Giants have a better offensive line, and they do have a defense that's very average. Like, both these two teams have really good defenses that are just a little average. Like, it's not like the best. Now, when I look at that Giants game, versus the Eagles, their defense played really well versus the Eagles. Like, they kept the Eagles out of the red zone. They were forcing turnovers and all that. I mean, yeah, I like what their defense did. But offensively, they struggled. Now, on the other side, the Dolphins' defense, it's pretty much the Dolphins' defense is pretty much underrated because here's the thing. Their defense was playing really, really well, for the last 3 weeks. Like, their defense played well against the Ravens. They played well against the Jets, and also their defense played well against the Panthers. I mean, I like how the Dolphins defense was forcing a lot of turnovers versus the Panthers. Like Brian Flores, I mean, his game plan was very outstanding, and Tua, his passing game was really good. But you know what? It could be either way type game, but you know what? It kind of tells you that both these two teams might not make the playoffs, but the Dolphins might be getting a little close. But I don't know. But you know what? They're starting Mike Glennon. So they're saying that Daniel Jones is going to be ruled out, so they're really going to start Mike Glennon. So I don't really think, and plus, I don't think he's going to do enough to keep pace because I feel like Tua is very good and he can find a way to thrive. And plus, the Dolphins' offensive line not being great, I think he'll find a way to thrive. I mean, I kind of feel like Jalen Waddle, he's been really good for the last several weeks, so I feel like he might have a big game. Mike Gesicki will, and plus Devontae Parker might be back for this game. But Will Fuller, I mean, he's probably not going to be coming back for this game either, but he's still injured. But you know what? Their running game sucks, so that can allow the Giants' defense to cause their running game issues. So yeah, and plus, on the other side of the ball, I think the Dolphins' defense can really give Saquon a tough time. Like, they'll find a way to slow him down, all that. So yeah. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to take the Dolphins to win 30-10 because I kind of feel like the Dolphins are the better team. They have the better. I mean, they have the quarterback advantage in this game, and plus they have the better coach. Because I don't really think Joe Judge is kind of that great of a coach, to be honest with you. So yeah, so I got the Dolphins winning this game, and I'm easily having the Dolphins cover. But if Daniel Jones was playing this game, then I think this game will be much closer, and I think the Giants will cover. But this time, I think the Dolphins will cover this game since Danny Dimes ain't playing. So yeah. All right, next game we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Jets. Eagles are favored by 6.5. Now I'm gonna keep this one a little bit short. Now we can see this game go either way though, because both these two teams are kind of bad, and I kind of feel like the Eagles, they're starting to play with heart, because we seen that Jalen Hurts really struggled last week against the Giants. I mean, their offense was not playing well, but the defense was playing a little bit good. But you know what? When I look at the other side of the Jets, I mean, Zach Wilson, coming off an injury, he looked great versus the Texans, and plus their defense looked really good. I mean, John Franklin Myers looked really well again. I mean, this guy reminds you that this guy kind of reminds you of he kind of really looks like Aaron Donald, like versus this Texans offensive line. So yeah. So you know what? The Jets offensive line, is really bad, and plus their defense stinks. So that can allow the Eagles offense to move the ball against them and pass the ball on them, because I feel like Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert could be the difference maker in this game, and I think Miles Sanders could be, so I think they'll find a way to run them over the Jets defense. So yeah, even though the Jets defense played well, I still think the Eagles offense finds a way to run them over. And plus the Eagles defense has been playing really well for like the last several weeks. So we can really expect the Eagles defense to have another big game against this Jets offense. I mean, maybe when we look at the Eagles, maybe they can at least go back and watch film, and maybe they can at least look at the Saints game, or maybe look at the Broncos game that they played. So yeah. And plus, Nick Sirianni, he's starting to coach really good. His scheme is starting to improve well. And while Robert Saleh, his schemes are really not that well. He's not a great defensive play caller. So, yeah, he had a great game plan with the Jets last week. So, yeah, we get it. But you know what? I know it's in New York, but I'm going to go with the Eagles here to win 26-16. The reason why I'm picking the Eagles to win because I just feel like the Eagles are just a better team, and plus, I just have more faith in Jalen Hurts more than Jack Wilson. So yeah, and plus, I feel like the Eagles' coaching is better. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Eagles to win, but I will take the Eagles to cover. But if Jalen Hurts play, then I'll take the Eagles to cover. But if he does not play, then I will take the Jets to maybe cover the points. So yeah. All right, next game we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Houston Texans. Colts are favored by 9.5. Now, I mean they're favored by 9. Now we're gonna keep this a little short this time. Now, when you look at this matchup, the Colts, the Texans, they're so bad. They looked at bad versus the Jets. We get it. They looked at bad for like the last several weeks. Be on the other side, the Colts offense, is really, really, really good. Jonathan Taylor, he has been a beast. He's been a really great game changer. This guy runs you all over and all that. Yeah, but their defense is pretty much underrated. Carson Wentz, he's starting to play really well. So, yeah. So, the Texans, they literally have nobody. Like, nobody on defense that scares you. They don't got a lot of playmakers on offense that scare you. So, yeah. So that can allow the Colts offense to give the Texans defense problems. So, yeah. And plus, the Texans they suck. They're easily the worst team in the league. There's no way I'm taking Houston. Yeah. So, I'm easily taking the Colts to win this game because the Colts, they have the better quarterback, they have the better coach, there's the better teams. So, no question of that. So, I got the Colts winning 28-13. So, yeah. I'm taking the Colts to win this game, and I'm taking the Colts to easily cover. All right, next game we have the Washington football team versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are favored by 2.5. Now, this could almost be a pick'em game, but this game feels like a best bet to me because here's the thing. I kind of feel like this game can barely go either way, though, because when you look at it, the Raiders have a really great offense, though. Their offense looked great versus the Cowboys. Yeah, I don't really know about the defense, but I think the offense played really well. But you know what? On the other side, Washington, Taylor Heinicke has been playing really good. This defense, without Chase Young and Montez Sweat, I feel like their defense is starting to play a little bit better. And plus, I think their secondary has played a little bit better. So yeah, because when I look at the game versus Seattle scored a touchdown on them, and then when they try to win for the 2-point conversion, Washington's defense stopped them. And then they got the ball back, and that will end the game when Washington did, and the defense. Ron Rivera's game plan, it was really well that game. Now, here's the thing. I kind of feel like Washington matches up well with the Raiders really good because I feel like they do have a great defensive line that can really give Derek Carr a tough time, and they can give the run game a tough time, which they can find a way to slow down Jacobs and all that. And plus, their secondary is pretty good. William Jackson, who's a really good shutdown corner, I think he can find a way to either cover Deshaun Jackson or Hunter Renfrow. He can play one-on-one with anybody. And plus, Landon Collins, he has a really great safeties. But with Darren Waller not playing the game, could be a huge blow to the Raiders' offense, but I don't really think so. So yeah. On the other hand, the Raiders' defense, they have a really great underrated pass rush that can really give Heineke a tough time, and they can find a way to stop the. And I think they'll find a way to slow down Antonio Gibson. But plus, he had a great game last week. So yeah, and plus, the Raiders secondary, I mean, it's so inconsistent. They don't have a great pass defense, and plus, Washington has a really great explosive offense. I mean, Terry McLaurin, I mean, he can be very explosive, and he can find a way to like run routes in this game, and make explosive plays. And Curtis Samuel too, and De'Ami Brown. Yeah, I think the receivers of Washington can really. I mean, they can really find a way to like at least makes explosive plays. So yeah. So I mean, we could really see Washington really pull off the upset because Washington could be fighting for a playoff spot, and the Raiders could be fighting for a playoff spot after a win. So I could easily call this a trap game, but nah, but I want to go with Washington because they have the better coach. But you know what? I don't have faith in the quarterback, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders here to win this game. I mean, if Washington had like a solid quarterback, I mean, I would pick them to win. But since they don't really have a solid quarterback, I'm gonna go with the Raiders because the Raiders have the better quarterback. They're at home, so yeah. So I got the Raiders winning 26-23, but this can go either way. But I feel like this game will be much closer. But I'm taking the Raiders to win. But I will take the 2.5 though because I think what the Washington football team can do offensively and defensively, they can be able to create play action and make big plays and all that. So yeah, so I think they can keep it closer. But I feel like this game can be a little bit of a defensive game. But I'm taking Washington to cover the points, but I'm taking the Raiders to win the game. Next game, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the LA Rams. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the LA Rams. Because I think the Rams are just. Now, when I look at it, now Rams are favored by 13 points. So, yeah. So when I look at the matchup, I mean, the Rams defense has been a little bit inconsistent for the last couple of weeks, and their offense has been a little bit inconsistent. I mean, they had trouble with pass protection and all that. But you know what? I think defensively, I think with Jackson on the other side, Jacksonville, I mean, they're just a bad team. They totally suck. I mean, every game they always struggle to score 30 points because, cause that kind of makes their offense look worse. But their defense is like the worst. So yeah, that can really allow the Rams passing game to be really good with Cooper Kupp and OBJ and Van Jefferson and Tyler Higbee. That can allow the weapons on offense of the Rams to have a big game. And plus their running game really doesn't exist. But I think their passing game has a big game. And I think Matthew Stafford is going to have a better week this game. So yeah. So this is what I'm saying. This is a must-win for the Rams so they can at least stay in the playoffs. Because if they do not win this game, they can be in serious trouble. That's what I'm saying. Because if they don't cover, then it's kind of concerning. So yeah. So I think it's time for the Rams to end their 3-game losing streak and get back on track with a big win with the Rams having a big win this game with 35-16, and I'm easily taking them to cover this game. I mean, there's no way I'm taking Jacksonville to cover this game because they're bad. So yeah. So I expect Matthew Stafford to play better this game, and I expect the offense to play better, and I expect the defense to play better. So yeah. So I'm gonna take. So yeah, they should easily destroy Jacksonville without a problem. Next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Uh, Ravens are favored by 4.5. Now, I call this a trap game. Now, here's the thing: it can barely go either way though, because well, think about it. This is the Steelers' defense is a bad matchup for Baltimore, and the reason why it's a bad matchup for Baltimore is because here's the thing: the Steelers' defense, they're really great at stopping the run, like really good, and they're really great at pressuring. But their pass defense could be a little bit sketchy though. But you know what? Both these two teams match up well really good because I kind of feel like that the Ravens, they're trying to fight for the number one seed, and while the Steelers, they're starting to regress a little bit. I mean, their offensive line is just a mess. I mean, Big Ben, he's just the most overrated quarterback right now. And I kind of feel like he's going to have to be in a retirement home. And their defense is a little bit overrated. So, yeah. So, when you look at the game, it could be a really good best bet. And also, the Ravens' defense is very inconsistent. I mean, we understand their defense has been playing really well versus the Browns. But, last week, Lamar Jackson versus the Browns, he almost had a bad game because he threw like I think it was like 200 yards something or under. Like he threw like 4 interceptions. I mean that was like a disaster because I was totally disgusted to see that. And plus, I feel like the Ravens defense can find a way to at least stop the run and stop the passing game and probably put Marlon Humphrey on Chase Claypool and probably put him on or on Deontay Johnson so they can at least play one-on-one against both receivers and Jimmy Smith too. So yeah. So I feel like the Steelers offensive line, so they really can't protect really good. And they can't stop the run. So, and also the Steelers don't have a really good O line, so I feel like the Ravens defense plays better this game, and they can give Big Ben a tough time. But we already know last year that the Steelers defense, the Ravens barely almost beat the Steelers that time, but the Steelers defense was playing really well and all that in that game. So yeah, so I don't, I mean, I don't think John Harbaugh is going to expect that to happen again. Well, we understand Steelers are very tough on defense, but I just feel like the Ravens I feel like the Ravens are going to break out this game because I just don't have no faith in the Steelers right now because they're starting to decline a little bit and they could barely miss the playoffs. But if the Steelers if they win on Sunday, then their playoff hopes still be alive. But you know what? I feel like that with the Steelers offensively, they struggled against the Bengals. Like their defense couldn't even stop the run, and they wasn't getting in coverage a little bit. Maybe the Ravens can be like, oh, maybe we can at least look at the Bengals game, and probably at least look at the Raiders, and probably look at the Packers game and all that. So yeah, so I think this game right here might be very close, but I think it's gonna be a little bit like a low scoring game, but I'm gonna go ahead and I don't really know, but even though it's in Pittsburgh, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Ravens to win 24-20. Look, I just really have more faith in the Ravens. I mean, I feel like they're just a better team. They have the better quarterback. I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna take the Ravens to win, but I will take the points though. I might take the 4.5. But I don't really know. I mean, as long as Big Ben, if he doesn't play like crap, if he doesn't play garbage, then I think they can keep it close. So yeah, but I'm just saying that it's probably going to be a little bit of a low scoring game due to the fact that the game might be a little defensive, and I feel like the Steelers defense they could be able to make some big plays make some big plays, and the Ravens defense make big plays. So yeah, so I don't really know. So I'm gonna go ahead and say the Steelers covered. I think they're gonna play Steelers play a little bit better this week, but I don't think they're gonna do it enough. So I'm gonna say the Steelers do cover the points, but I will take the Ravens to win the game. All right, next game we have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks. 49ers are favored by 3.5. So I'm gonna keep this one a little short though. Now, when I look at it, now it could go either way because here's the thing: the 49ers have a really great defensive line and they have a really great offensive line too. And plus, Seattle, they have been struggling lately. I mean, here's the thing: their offensive line is complete disaster. Their defense is totally inconsistent. So yeah. So plus the Niners offense, I mean they got really good weapons on offense. They got Elijah Mitchell and Brandon Ayuk. I think they do have weapons on, and George Kittle too. So I think the Niners weapons on offense can really give the Seahawks defense a lot of problems. So yeah. And I feel like their pass rush can give Russell Wilson a tough time. Now here's the thing. Russell Wilson played really well in the fourth quarter, but he scored a touchdown on Washington. And plus, when they went for a 2-point conversion, they came a little short because Washington's defense made a stop and, nobody was getting open and creating play action and all that. So, yeah. So, this could be either way type game, though. But you know what? I have no faith in the Seattle Seahawks right now because, they're on a losing streak and how the way they've been losing. It's starting to not work. Seattle's starting to decline this year, and plus, they're taking a little bit of a step back this year, and they don't got nothing to play for because they're not going to make the playoffs. Yeah, so I kind of feel like that the Seahawks are probably going to miss it. So I feel like the Seahawks won't have nothing to play for, and it might be time for Russell Wilson to go to a new team, but I don't really know I don't know what the plan is. So yeah, even though the game in Seattle, I'm gonna go with the team who has more to play for, and a team which I think is just a better team, and also the team that's not slumping. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Niners to win. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Niners to win 27-24. But I kind of feel like this game is gonna be much closer because I feel like Russell Wilson, he'll try to play better this game, and their defense might start making big plays. But yeah, even though the Seahawks defense looked a little better last week, but yeah, so I'm gonna take the 49ers to win, but I will take the points though because I think they can keep this a little closer though. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was a high scoring game. So yeah, so by that, I'm gonna take the Seahawks to cover the 3.5, but I will take the 49ers to win the game, and that hopefully gonna keep their playoff hole still alive while Seattle is gonna barely fall apart and miss the playoffs. Next game we have the Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 10. So this is kind of a big number though. Now I kind of feel like this 10-point spread is kind of disrespectful a little bit because I don't think anybody can be favored by 10 points. Now, here's the thing. Now, the Broncos defense had played really well against the Chargers last week because they were able to make. The Broncos defense was really playing great, and plus their offense and their run game was very consistent in that game. While on the other side, the Chiefs are coming off a bye, which means they had more time to prepare for this game, and they had time to rest for that game. And plus their defense. Their defense has been playing good for like the last couple of weeks, but their offense, it's been starting to go up and down and all that. So yeah, but we get it. But I don't really know. But if I believe in the Chiefs offense, because I think they're starting to turn their season around a little bit. So yeah, but and plus their defense, their secondary is starting to play really good, and plus their pass rush is playing better now, and their linebackers are playing better now. So yeah, but you know what? The Chiefs match up well with the Broncos really good. Like, here's the thing, because I kind of feel like the Broncos secondary might be in coverage this game, and plus I feel like the Chiefs with Steve Spagnuolo, I mean, he's starting to have his game plans really good every week. So yeah, but it can go either way though. But I wouldn't be shocked if this game was going to be a high scoring game. I wouldn't be shocked they keep this game a little close though. But you know what? I think this game right here, I think it only depends on who's going to get first place. Like, because if the Broncos win, then they'll get first place. But if the Chiefs win, they'll still be in first place because you know they got their season back on track and all that. So yeah, but it could go. But you know, both these two teams, I mean, they got their playoff hopes alive and all that. So yeah, but you know what? I kind of feel like since you know the Chiefs, you know they're starting to play better defensively, but their offense could be a little sketchy. But I kind of feel like their defense has another great performance, and I against the Broncos, I think their offense has another great performance. But you know what? The Broncos' run defense is not great, and plus, I feel like Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Jerry McKinnon, I think he'll find a way to have a big game. So yeah, I feel like he'll have room to run all that. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chiefs to win 31-20. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this game is gonna be a little bit close, but I wouldn't be shocked if they kept this game close. But I don't really know if the Broncos are gonna do enough to keep up with Mahomes because Mahomes, he's like the most talented dude on the team. So yeah, I feel like Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and McCole Hardman. So I feel like the Chiefs offense could have a big game. So yeah. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs to win, but it's kind of tough to say who's gonna cover because both these two teams has been playing really good. But I wouldn't be shocked if they kept this game close though. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say the Chiefs cover this game. So yeah. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs to win, but I'll take the Chiefs to cover. And I'm hoping that this Chiefs offense has a good game this week. By the way, their defense played better. All right, next game we have the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. Bills are favored by 2.5. I'm gonna keep this one a little bit. Now, when I look at this game, this is a big game for both teams because both these two teams are really gonna be are fighting to be in the playoffs. And I think this also depends on who's gonna win the division. Because you know the Patriots, I mean, they're starting to play with heart. They've been fighting. I mean, Mac Jones is playing really good. I mean, this offense is starting to turn around. I mean, this defense is starting to play really well now. I mean, yeah, I love what this Patriots team has been doing for the last couple weeks. On the other side, the Bills, I mean, they're like a cold climate team. Like, when you look at the Bills, their offense, they'll come to create and play action and make big plays. They'll make big plays down the field. But with their defense, it's okay, but it's pretty much overrated. But I'm not gonna say it's overrated bad, but it's still okay. But you know what? I just kind of feel like when you look at the Bills, they match up well with the Patriots really good. On defense, I mean, their secondary is really good, but it kind of sucks that losing their best corner, Tre'Davious White, I mean, he's a key factor. He's one of the best shutdown corners, but you still got Levi Walls and Teron Johnson, who are still great corners. And plus, the safeties are fine. I mean, the edge rush is fine, and linebackers are okay. But the Bills' offensive line is not bad, you think. They're really great at pass blocking and all that. But their running game doesn't exist. They can't run the ball that well. But I think they can only do on offense. They can pass the ball really good. So, yeah. Because when I look at the Patriots side, their offensive line is very, very good, and plus their pass rush is okay, and plus their secondary is pretty much underrated. Which they can really do the same thing to the Bills. They can really cause the Bills offense a lot of issues. Like, and also like in the Patriots offensively can give the Bills defense some issues too. But you know what? The Patriots secondary has been playing really good. I mean, J.C. Jackson, I mean, he is such a elite corner. Like the Patriots defense, they get in coverage this game. And also we can see this Bills defense getting coverage this game too, but I don't really know. But you know what? This is like an either way type game, but I don't really know who I really want to pick. But you know what? Because I kind of feel like the Patriots almost feel like they're a Super Bowl. They almost playing like they're a contender because like they was like a few years ago because their defense has been matching up and getting coverage in this game. But you know what? Because I kind of feel like they're gonna. Because I kind of feel like when the Patrons, I feel like when they play the run, I feel like they're gonna get everybody in the box this game. But this is what the Bills do. Like if they're gonna play the run, they gotta put everybody in the box. Because if you put everybody in the box, then that can allow Damon. Now the Bills that can allow the Bills that can allow Damon Harris to have no lanes and probably not get a first down on first. Like it could be second down or third down. Like I don't know. But I kind of feel like with Brian DeVoe's defense, I think he can find a way to at least confuse Mac Jones, like force the defense to get in coverage and all that. So yeah, I think he's really capable of doing that. So yeah. But you know what? This could be a best bet to this game, but I don't really know. It could barely go either way, but you know what? This is also goes to first who's gonna get first place. Because if the Patrons win, then they still get first place. But if the Bills win, they could tie up the records, and the Bills could barely get first place. But I don't know. But you know what? I feel like this game right here, it could barely be a high scoring game, but it could be a shootout. I don't really know. But you know what? I feel like this game right here is gonna be super close. I mean, we can see the Patriots pull off the upset, but I don't really know. And plus, with a rookie quarterback on the road facing against a really great defense like Buffalo, I mean, nah. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and take the Bills to win 27-23. I kind of feel like this game right here is going to be like a little bit of a low-scoring game, or it could be a little bit of a defensive game, but it could be offensive too, but I don't know. I mean, I just kind of feel like the Bills are just a better team. They have a better quarterback. They're at home, so yeah. So I'm going to take the Bills to win, but I will take the points though because I feel like this game right here can keep it close. I mean, I feel like this is a game I think Mac Jones might keep pace. I don't know. But you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and probably say that I don't know if I'm going to be betting on this game, but I'm going to bet this game because 2.5 points is not bad. So I wouldn't be shocked if Buffalo covered. I mean, yeah. So yeah, so I'm going to take the points though because I kind of feel like the spread is not bad. So, and also, again, it's the best bet. So I'm going to take the Patrons to cover the 2.5, but I will take the Bills to win the game though. And that hopefully I'll get the Bills back in first place in their division. Well, all right, guys. That's all my Week 13 predictions for this week. I hope you guys enjoy watching. And also, don't forget, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comment section below what you think your Week 3 predictions are going to be. I mean, if you disagree with me, let me know what you think your Week 13 predictions are for this week. So, yeah, is your opinion on who you think is going to win? Well, this is Emmanuel Jones from The Big Fan. Hope you guys enjoy watching. And don't forget, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys later. Peace.